Hi, Mister. This is my first review video of the second book called The Earth is Weeping, and this one's on chapter 8, Tragedy in the Lava Beds. Like I did in the past, first I'm going to give like an overview of my notes and then connect it to the purpose and the historical narrative. So first I wrote out the people, like common names that I saw that really like stuck out were Captain Jack, who was Matlock head chief, which pressured by rivals. He assassinated Jen Camby at the council, later captured and executed. There's a curly-headed doctor. Sean King John, who was Matlock leader, hardliner, aligning with curly-headed doctor against surrender. Hooker Jim, Scarface Carolee, Black Jim, and Alfred B. Lankamp. And then for places and events, we have the Lost River of November 28th, 1872, where botched arrest attempt ignited firefights, settlers, and also attacked Hooker Jim Camp. And then we have the lava beds, where Captain Jack's stronghold and the maze of caves and lava flows near Tool Lake, decisive Modoc defensive advantage. Battle of January 17th, 1873, Gillam Bluff, Council and Assassinations, Captain Thomas Massacre, and the exile of the Indian Territory, which were all important events during this chapter. For ideas and technologies, we have Grant's peace policy, which tested here can buy merchant tried Parachutes by killing discredited the approach politically. Reservation systems and broken promises, like the disputes over Modoc homeland versus Kilmath reservations, and field resistance. There was also the intra-tribal politics, territorial terrain as force multiplier, the parliamentary dynamics, military commissions, and also the public opinion and media, and how it kind of affected the outrage after Camby's murder, which drove like a shift from negotiation to more force. Okay. And then we have some conflicts, which, for example, the negotiation versus retaliation, since peace commissioners and truces clashed with war factions and demands for blood and autonomy. We have the federal autonomy versus local pressures. Sorry, I'm kinda sick and tired. Chiefs programmatism versus Shamiak, which Captain Jack was stationed undercut by curly-headed doctor, medicines, and hard lines, justice versus double standards, and how it affected the outcome of different events, and also the peace policy deals versus the frontier reality of how the connection between the American Indians and the settlers were. Okay. So now, moving on to the purpose and how this all connects to the historical narrative. So, in my opinion, this chapter basically spotlights how the Modoc War, as a case study in the collapse of Grant's peace policy and the broader post-Civil War, U.S. transitions towards first Indian policy, the core conflict like Modoc homeland survival versus federal and settlement demands, relocate was intensified by intra-Modoc factionalism and settler probations and army missteps, culminating in the council's assassination that turned national opinion sharply against the idea of negotiation. The aftermath, like the exemptions and the decorporations, exile, impunity for earlier settlers, violence, exposed like a stark justice on the frontier. In the larger narrative, it makes show how even as the nation debated free domain and rights in the Reconstruction, federal practice in the West increasingly privileged order and expansion over indigenous self-determination, foreshadowing after conflicts and removal. And yeah, thank you.